Go.
Excellent.
Hey!
Hello! Hey.
Look who we found at Knit City in Vancouver.
Yes, here we are with Kate Atherley.
One of our favorite designers.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thanks.
Kate just finished a brand new design for our touchdown line.
Yes, yes, it's a new pattern called Gridiron.
Yeah.
Yes,
In-
it's
yeah.
it's a sock pattern. Just spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
You like to knit socks.
I do. I love to knit socks. So, well, it's not snowing in Toronto quite yet, but it is going to be snowing soon, and I do need to keep my hands warm.
Yes.
I also love that socks are so portable too. Like, it's the ultimate portable project. I always have a sock in my purse, and then you get to have fun with like yarns. Like, look at how good this colorway is, and so many of the colorways are gorgeous, and it's just the best. Like, and it's
Well, you know, Kate, this is a brand new color for us. We just came out with 2 new ones.
Excellent.
Toronto's one of them. And I thought it might be nice to show it to you because it's just brand new.
It is beautiful. Look at those blue colors. Like, really, just that really deep blue, and then the bright blue and the white. This will be fantastic in that. I think we need to see what it looks like in that pattern. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
in that pattern or
oh, maybe you need to design a new pattern for us.
Maybe I could think about that with a color like this. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that pretty?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's the other one you just launched?
The other one is Montreal.
Okay.
So it's a real pretty colorway too.
And you're going to have to help me. I don't know much about
Alouettes.
sports. Okay. And their colors are.
black and red and very nice.
Ooh, that could be fun too.
Yeah.
Yes. Ooh. Although the challenge with something like that, like the reason that I love this colorway is the colors. You're not going to be fighting with a pattern stitch. Like, this is fun for a designer to play with.
Right.
Red and black, it's the kind of thing that sometimes, like, keep it simple, right? But I mean, the pattern I designed, it does the same thing. It just allows you to break up those stripes.
Right.
It could be.
Well, and we wanted to take the band off and show you this one that Caroline has actually done a little tweaking
Right.
for us.
All right.
And we thought it'd be interesting to show this to you and see what you think, because half of the skein is a sort of a semi-solid.
right.
Oh.
What do you think about this? Remember, we had a little bit of difficulty with the other ones with the patterning.
So because of your design, because we love it, because it's so beautiful, we asked Carolyn to make the main color sequence be a little bit longer in the skeins. So that's what she's done. And so when we do our gridiron
Sure, everybody can
socks,
see it on the camera.
everything's going to, the color pull up is going to work out really nicely because she's done that. Yeah. And so we were kind of thinking maybe that pattern would look really cool on mittens.
Oh, yes, it would. Because, again, winter, we also need to cover our hands. So, just look at how nicely those work together. I can see it on my lap here. Let's see if we can hold it up for the camera. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, those are really good.
Yeah, we'll take a snapshot and insert here.
Yeah. Oh, but mittens. Ooh.
Yeah, because you just come out with a book on
I
mittens.
did. So I've done socks and I've done mittens, and I take the same approach with both of them, which is find a yarn you love. Check your gauge, sorry, but that's not that hard. And then just take your own measurements. So any yarn, any foot, any hand. So
I love that idea.
Absolutely.
You know, Kate, that new mitten book I had to flip through, and I love every single pattern in it. It's one of those books I think that's going to be sold as a reference book in our store for anybody who wants to knit mittens, because it's any gauge, right?
Yeah,
Really.
it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And all the different kinds of mittens, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thrummed mittens and
Color work.
Flip tops and the one that I love, the detail, and I'm not wearing them because it's not winter in Vancouver, thank goodness. A flip top thumb for
So
texting.
you can text?
Yes.
Because,
Are you a thumb texter or are you a finger texter?
It depends on which device I'm using. Actually, I've got 2 devices. So one of them is more of a thumb thing, and the other one is the larger one is a finger swipey thing.
Okay.
So, but yeah, certainly when we're walking the dog, and yes, can you pick me up a coffee? You just need to expose your thumb for that. That gets the job done. So yes.
Oh, that's good. And then we should just lean back to gridiron. You did an amazing range of sizes in the pattern as well.
Absolutely.
I think there were 6 sizes.
And that's important. I mean, my whole thing is that one size fits all is sort of, it's not fair. Like the 3 of us, we don't have the same size feet, and it's to me, if you're gonna go to the trouble of making these things, let's make them fit. Let's make them right. And so, making them right is not only choosing a color that you love, choosing a yarn that you love working with, but it's making them fit. And if they fit, they last longer, they feel better. So yeah, I always have multiple sizes in my patterns. I always do. It's important. So that, you know, and with these larger skeins too, this is one of the larger skeins.
Yes.
So you can get a couple of pairs, you know, you can get an adult pair and probably a kid's pair.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
good.
that's great.
Yeah, we're so excited about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so maybe mittens.
Mittens, I think, would work very nicely. In fact, I was just thinking, because what I do often, because I have wee little feet, is I'm able to get, even with a regular skein, I'm able to get a pair of socks and a pair of fingerless mittens. The longer skein, a pair of socks and a pair of...
Yes, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah,
because when you're watching football, it's always cold out, right? I mean, at least it is in Edmonton. If you go to the game, you got to wear your socks, you got to wear your mittens, and then maybe there's a hat.
Oh, yeah, see a whole possibility. Because this pattern stitch, I love the pattern stitch when I found it, and it would work really well for all of these.
Right.
Give me
I mean, we'd
ideas.
have to do a little. There might be some mathematician, some Kate Atherley math that has to happen with, with a hat to make it work out.
We can figure this out. I'm sure we can figure this out. This would be fun. Sorry, you just stopped me at going to watch football. I'm like, outside, right? Winter,
Yeah.
I must confess, this is my confession. The name gridiron actually had to be explained to me. I'm not really a sports gal, so I love this yarn, and it had to be explained to me which team it was. And of course, I live in Toronto, and I didn't recognize it as a Toronto team. So that's my shameful confession.
That's all right.
And as much as we, market this to the sports fans, let me just put a plug in there for all the non-sports fans, because this color, I think, is so pretty.
It really is.
Who wouldn't want to knit anything with this, really?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be sports related.
Yeah, absolutely.
But a shawl, something,
Plus
a sweater.
The yarn itself is really pretty. This is Ancient Arts.
Right. It's made in Italy. It's a really beautiful merino.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So
And then before we finish off, Kate, it was pointed out to me in the coffee shop up the street that you've just released another new book.
well, it's not quite out yet.
Oh, okay.
It comes out at the end of October, so we're very close. The Knitter's Dictionary.
Yeah.
And so it is going to be a reference book, and it's a smaller size for gift giving. And I'll send you a still picture, or maybe you can catch me later and take a picture, because I have a copy with me.
Fantastic.
And it is it's designed to be a reference book on all of the terms that we use in knitting. So it's sort of like a guide to pattern reading, understanding all the language that we use in, and also just a visual reference for things like when we're talking about garment styles. We throw around these terms like drop shoulder and raglans and circular yokes, but you may not know what those are. I mean, if you're not a garment expert, and when you're first a knitter, you're probably not.
Right.
So explaining what they all mean and putting all of these things in context for you.
Great. And so the book is being published by Interweave?
Interweave,
Okay.
yes.
Yep.
That's something really useful too, Kate, because there's so much that's changing in our knitting world today. There's so many new designers that are coming out with just slightly different things that they're designing. And the other thing is, it seems to me there's no standardization really.
Not
right?
really, no. It's like recipes. I mean, I don't think we'll ever achieve absolute standardization because there's different styles, right? I love it when I read a recipe or a pattern and I hear the designer's voice as well and their own way of expressing things. But there's lots of terminology that we need to be able to sort of use as a common language. So
Yeah. It's like, castor sugar
yes,
and icing sugar.
yes.
Oh.
Do you know?
Sugar is a sugar, isn't it?
Oh, no. And then there's brown sugar and yellow sugar and demerara sugar and thinking about Christmas baking already. But
what's the difference between brown sugar and yellow sugar?
well, this the amount of molasses left in. I've learned this. But so there's different regional terms, right? So and the castor sugar, icing sugar is a regional thing.
Is it Australian?
Well, in England as well, I think.
English.
Yeah. So and then you'll also get. So there's regional terms. There's also just terms for like brown sugar and yellow sugar are tiny variations of the same thing. So those two are substitutable, but So sometimes the terms mean the same things and sometimes they don't mean the same thing.
Right.
And I ran into this when we wrote the section for right side, right? How many different ways do we use the term right side in knitting? It's just,
A lot.
right,
Yes.
right? There's, outside versus inside.
Right.
Then there's right side of the body, right? And then there's right side as you're looking at it, and then there's so there's all sorts of stuff. It's really interesting.
That's
true.
So that's what this book is about. But it's not, it's a usable small reference book, and
So it could fit into a knitter's handbag, or
yes, it could.
Oh, I like that.
Yes, it
I
could.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I hope you like it as much as you like the mitten book.
Oh, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. I think you're kind of like the expert on all things. Were you a mathematician?
Yes,
before?
my degree is in mathematics,
Yes.
actually. So yes.
thank God we have a few mathematicians in the world.
I don't make anybody else do it, but I like to help other people by doing it. For
Right.
you.
Well,
Yeah.
it's really helpful, because I think that's the thing about mathematics, is that it teaches you to be logical and methodical.
Yeah.
And when you are trying to follow a pattern, isn't it frustrating if the writer is not methodical? Sometimes if they don't use a standard.
But if that wasn't the
abbreviation,
case, we'd be out of business, Cynthia.
because we get to help people through their Yeah.
It is an interesting thing, and I mean, to me, designing and pattern writing are two different skill sets. And
interesting.
absolutely. Well, and it's the same thing between cooking and inventing recipes and writing those instructions too, because it's a technical writing discipline. And something I did professionally before I had this life was I did some technical writing, and to explain something, you may understand something, but to explain it's
In
different.
a way that someone else can pick it up.
Yeah, and so some of the most creative designers I know, some of the most brilliant design brains, are quite happy to admit that they're just not very good at writing instructions, and that's cool. And I think that if designers understand that about the process and understand that about themselves, then there's a better... there have been times when I've worked with designers to help them write something, because I think my strength is in the mathematics and is in the logic and the explaining. I don't do all the amazing sort of creative, wild construction stuff. My stuff is more logical, right? More mathematical. And so if I can help by being the logical thinker and let someone else be the
Creative, artistic.
crazy, wonderful, and so that's the partnership. But you need both skill sets, because it's not, if you've got that brilliant creative brain, you may not be able to put it in a way that people can understand.
True.
People who don't think the same way as you. So
True. Yeah.
but hopefully my book helps with that a bit.
Yeah.
So what's on next, Kate? Because you've always got something on the back burner. Is there anything you can share with us?
Well, I've got another book idea I'm working on.
Oh.
It's very early days for that one yet. And then just starting to think about, got some new designs. I just launched a new design. I'm actually, if I may mention another yarn, I've been looking into different sort of breed-specific yarns, learning about that.
Yes.
So I'm experimenting with the Dire Indigo Dragonfly. We've decided to sort of collaborate on a yarn that is a Polworth base for sock yarn, and it's got no nylon in it, and it's breed-specific. And the idea is just helping people sort of think beyond merinos,
Right,
because merinos are marvelous, and I love a merino, and it's beautiful around your neck and around your hands, and it's great for really soft socks, but sometimes you want something a little bit harder wearing. And so thinking about that kind of thing, just learning more, and I just get to learn a bit more about sheep, a bit more about where our fibers come from, so that's fun for me.
Polworth come
So
from?
this particular Polworth that we've been working with is from New Zealand specifically. So
Yes.
But learning lots about sheep breeds, including I was spelling Polworth wrong for the first few weeks, so I fixed that. So it's Pol.
And how were you doing it?
I was doing it Pal, Polworth, but it's Polworth. But just learning about that kind of thing, and I think it's important to choose the right fiber too.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of people coming into our shop lately asking for specific breeds.
Excellent, that's
So
good.
I
That's
think
good.
that is going to be something that's on the cutting edge.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we're doing some work with Carolyn Sommerfeld again from Ancient Arts with her Lascaux blend, which is
25% Manx Lawton.
yes,
Oh, very cool.
And
75% Punta Serenas.
Which is a Peruvian
Okay.
merino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Excellent.
So still
Good.
the nice merino blend,
Yeah.
but with a breed that's kind of rare.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the one
fantastic.
that has the 6 horns.
Up to, yeah.
Nice, nice. I'm going to have to get my hands on some of this and try it.
You
So
should.
yeah,
Mhm.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah. Yeah,
She'll
we'll
be
hook
at
you
the-
up.
Okay, all right. It's good to know people in the business. You know, I get to try all these cool yarns.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh, that's really exciting.
And thank you too, because I know that you just did a pattern in our epic yarn.
That's
which is
right. Yeah,
another
last
Yes.
year. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Peruvian wool.
Slippers.
Yeah, it
We
is.
love epic.
Yeah, Epic is fantastic. It really is. It's just a workhorse. It really is. You can use it for anything. The color palette's fantastic, and I love the hand of it. It's great. It's substantial without being too rough. You know, it's not the kind of yarn people will touch and say, oh, that's too woolly. You know, I'm thinking of the wearers. I'm thinking of the children who've touched things and say, oh, that's woolly. I think it meets the needs of the knitter in that it's a substantial, hard-wearing, really lovely warming yarn, but I think the non-knitter types will appreciate wearing it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a nice, not to have superwash sometimes, right? You just want to have a nice wool.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. You
Yeah.
do. It's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
If you have a chance, come by and see us at Holly's booth tomorrow.
Oh, I will.
She's got
I will.
lots of samples we'd love to show
Excellent. I
Yeah,
look forward.
yeah,
Well, I'm
yeah.
dying to see all the new colors. So red and black, huh? Ooh,
Yeah.
giving me ideas.
yeah.
But this is gorgeous. But this entire color range I adore, and I can't name the teams. Sorry, my one failing in this assignment is I don't know anything about sports, but the colors are fantastic. Sports and all.
It's really funny when knitters come into the shop. They'll pick. Sometimes they'll pick a color because they want to do something in a sports theme.
Yeah.
But oftentimes they'll just pick a color because they think it's really nice.
Yeah.
But there are some guys that will come in, and some women too. They'll come in and they'll say, "Oh, that's this team, and that's this team, and that's this team," and so you can really sort out the really die-hard sports fanatics from everybody else. So yeah, I mean, I just love the colors.
Yeah, I
they're
think so too.
They're really pretty.
Well, and this is the thing. I mean, these colors that the teams have chosen. They didn't just choose them in a vacuum. They've chosen them because they're great and they're striking and they're fun. Because these are fun colorways.
Exactly.
So yeah, what works for a sports team, hey, works for a sock,
yeah.
or mittens, or a hat. You're giving me ideas.
Well, we like to think that your pattern, Gridiron, is a real winner. And we thank you so much. It's taken us a little longer than we thought to get it out into the public, but we're launching it officially next week.
Yeah.
Excellent, good
Yeah.
stuff. I hope people enjoyed. I loved it, and I'm actually looking forward to trying it with different colorways too, because I do think it's a nice different way of using a self-striping yarn without making it one of those complicated socks. Because I
Right.
like a sock. There's two kinds of sock knitting. There's the relaxing, I'm just chatting with my friends,
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm watching something really good on TV kind of sock knitting. And then there's the, I'm on a 5-hour plane journey and I need something to entertain myself sock
Right,
knitting.
right.
But I think Gridiron fits into the category of really relaxing sock knitting, but
It
a different
Yeah.
way of using up a really fun yarn.
And it wouldn't necessarily work the same way with a yarn that has wide stripes.
No, it
and it
wouldn't.
won't work the same way with a yarn that's more variegated rather than stripy. So I think it's just like the perfect pattern for this particular yarn.
And I
because-
think, I think the yarn, it was the yarn that inspired it, honestly. It was just when I saw the lengths of those stripes, it was
Yes.
like, oh, we can do something fun with this. So I'm
Yes.
glad it worked.
Yeah.
I thank you because you were my total entertainment when I was on holidays last year. I did 2 sets of them.
Excellent.
And then another set when I got home. So
Good. Oh, I'm glad you
Thank
like
you.
it.
I love the pattern.
And maybe let's turn into mittens.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
Well,
Sounds
you
good.
have to take that one home and play with it.
Okay, fair enough. All right. And then, but now that I know who the team is, I won't. I'll be able to actually answer the question.
Maybe taking a game. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. All right. Yes. Yeah.
Well,
All right.
thank you.
All right.
Thanks so much,
Thanks
Kate.
very
Oh,
much.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Let's go
Always a
have some
pleasure.
lunch.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.